Welcome to In the Loop with Lupus in Color. We are here today and talking about embracing the new year with purpose. So, I'm trying something new today as far as getting on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So, you all give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me wherever you are. I'm going to try and answer people as I can on Instagram as well, because I have to go back and forth. So I want to say welcome to everyone who is joining and tuning in tonight. We are going to be discussing things about intentions in the new year. So we were supposed to have a chronic courage, our first episode, but Amber is sick. So you all send Amber a big burst of energy and some good spirits to help her get over being a little under the weather and feeling ill. It would have been our first chronic courage, two voices, one fight. But unfortunately, Amber is not feeling well. So just send her some good energy and let her know that you're thinking about her. And we're hoping that she gets some relief real soon. So we're going to still go on with what we're going to talk about today, just in a different way. It was supposed to be a conversation between Amber and I, and you all, whoever comes into the actual event. But we will keep going and change it up as we can. But let's start by doing this first. As always, we always have to let you know about our disclaimer. So, the information and answers provided during Lupus in Color videos and live events are not meant to be used as a substitute for professional medical advice. Information provided may differ from your physician's advice. The information provided and presented is for educational purposes only, to support attendees in the quest to learn more about a most silent disease, of course, which is lupus. Please check with your own physician before changing anything in your treatment plan. The information contained in any video or live event is not intended to recommend the self-management of health problems or wellness. It is not intended to endorse or recommend any particular type of medical treatment. Should any attendee have any healthcare related questions, promptly call or consult your physician or healthcare provider. No information presented should be used by any attendee to disregard medical and or health related advice or provide a basis to delay consultation with your personal physician or qualified healthcare provider. Persons accessing this information assume full responsibility for the use of the information and understand and agree that Lupus in Color or its presenters are not responsible or liable for any claim, loss, or damage arising from the use of this information. So I always like to go through the disclaimer so that you understand that, everything that we do is for educational purposes and to help you, find some different coping skills and things of that nature to help you deal with lupus. So I'm going back and forth. I'll say it again. I'm going back and forth with how I'm doing this. This is a new thing for me, for you to be seeing me live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Ooh, let's go. We can do this, right? I'm glad that everybody can hear us. And like I stated, we were supposed to do the Chronic Courage episode, but Amber is not feeling well. So send her good energy and very good thoughts to feel just a little bit better. We know lupus is so unpredictable and it can really take us for a loop as far as coming out of nowhere. And it's always hard to plan stuff. And even though you might plan stuff, you have to change it up. So as we change up things, let's go on and start this little conversation that we're going to have. Okay. So we're going to be talking about embracing the new year with purpose and setting intentions to stay healthy on your lupus journey. The other thing I just want to remind you guys that I have had some dental work done. So if my words sound a little weird sometimes, don't worry about it. It'll clear itself out eventually. Okay. So we're going to talk about setting intentions to stay healthy on your lupus journey. Let's see who's coming on here. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. I need to keep this up as I'm doing both of them. Okay. Um, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about setting intentions on our lupus journey. And look, there's a difference between resolutions and intentions. And let's talk about it. It's a new year. You know, we can't just make resolutions while we're dealing with lupus. We have to also set intentions. So instead of just, doing strict rules and just doing ticks on a box, let's plant some seeds of growth. Let's choose some goals that ignite your passion, not just tick boxes. While resolutions and intentions might seem similar at first glance, they differ in several key ways. So, resolutions are specific and they're often measurable. I want to lose 5 pounds. I lost 5 pounds in 2 months. Boom, that's a resolution. While intentions are broader, focusing on a present moment and the way one wants to live or approach situations. So, resolutions are specific, measurable goals, and intentions are centered around mindset and lifestyle in your now. So, I hope that makes sense to everybody and that it clears it up because a lot of people do make resolutions, but we also know that resolutions also go by what you're doing wrong, and intentions go by self compassion. Okay. So we want to make sure that you understand that. So, intentional living beyond lupus, living with intention isn't about reaching a finish line. It's about the daily choices that nurture your growth. Yes, you can actually grow as you're dealing with lupus. You can grow, you can learn, you can get better, you can feel better. It's not a cure, but intentions can help you with coping skills. It helps you cultivate your inner strength and unlock your most vibrant and authentic self. Ditching the autopilot, because every year, January 1st, we say, oh, here are our resolutions. We're on autopilot. Let's make this list. Let's check this off. Let's do this list. Let's check this off. Let's get off the autopilot and embrace intentionality and build the life that best reflects your aspirations beyond the limitations of lupus. Let's talk about your aspirations beyond the limitations of lupus. You can still have aspirations, you can still have goals, you can still do the things that you want to do in your life. You just have to modify it a little bit. And that's the purpose of intentions, to really take your mind from just setting a goal that is so lofty that you might not be able to, make that goal. Let's go on. So, how do we thrive beyond lupus? Living with lupus presents so many different challenges. We just talked about Amber not being here today because she's not feeling well. Lupus is so unpredictable. It can just pop up on you, something can happen, and all of a sudden you're in a flare. But the good thing is that it does not define your life. So, I know it's hard to say, the day old saying of, oh, I have lupus, lupus doesn't have me. Well, the reality is you do have lupus and it does not have to define your life. So it does not have to have you. It's not a cliche statement for me. It's really a true statement that helps you to live beyond lupus's limitations. So it's about empowering yourself to create a meaningful and fulfilling existence despite obstacles that lupus may put in front of you. So, to thrive beyond lupus is a journey involving self exploration, embracing adaptability, as we just talked about, and prioritizing your well being, not the well being of everybody around you, but your well being. Because if you're not well, there's no way that you can take care of anyone else. And it's about really learning your body and learning to live in your now and make goals for each moment of your day as opposed to lofty goals for down the road a year from now. So So let's explore how to thrive, not just survive, with an empowering approach to living with lupus. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments, or if you have any comments that you want to say. Once again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. We're doing it a little different today since Amber is ill, but we still want you to get the information. So let's go on with what is living intentionally beyond lupus. So I have this quote up here. Many people think they lack motivation when they really lack, what they really lack is clarity. So a lot of times we feel like we're clear on what we need to do for ourselves on this lupus journey. But the reality is, I think some of us get this little fuzzy thing going on, whether it be a lupus fog or whether it be just not clear as to what you need to do for your own body. So once you start living intentionally beyond lupus, you start challenging when you lack clarity, and what clears it up for you and makes it a fulfilling life for you. So achieving goals that lead to self-improvement and better health for you can become elusive if your time is invested in activities guided by an unclear direction. You know, a lot of times we are on the internet and we see things that are on the internet. We try to follow them, but we don't have a clear direction. So the whole purpose of today is to get you into the mindset of thinking about, how can I create specific intentions for myself? How can I create specific intentions to help me help myself and help me to be healthier beyond lupus, and to have less flares and to have less issues with the things that go on with lupus and lupus itself manifesting in our bodies? So much of our lifestyle after diagnosis is influenced by our flares. And not only are they influenced by our flares, but they're also influenced by our coping skills. So if we lacked coping skills prior to diagnosis, most likely we're going to lack the coping skills after diagnosis. So the purpose of setting an intention is to really just train your mind to teach your body how to respond to lupus. Does that make sense? To train your mind to teach your body how to respond to lupus. You know, and we don't always want to just respond to what's going on. We want to make sure that we are doing things to prevent certain things from coming on, whether it be brain fog, whether it be a longer lasting flare. Some things we're just not going to be able to stop from happening because that's just the nature of lupus. But there are some things that we can do, like eating healthy and things of that nature, that can help us create different movements in our body and create a healthier body so that lupus does not attack it as much. So establishing a clear understanding of what works for you is a crucial aspect of living with purpose and living intentionally beyond lupus. Now, this will all be on our website so that you don't have to take any notes if you don't want to, but it's still good information. If you want to grab a little note, grab a screenshot, go ahead and do that. But we will give this to you on our website. So there are 3 ways to set intentions. This is just me being a social worker, a former teacher, a former athlete. This is the way I set intentions. This is the way I've learned to really get to know my body and understand clearly what I need for me on my lupus journey. So start small and be specific. You know, forget sweeping resolutions. Instead, focus on micro intentions for each day. So you're going to ask yourself, what small achievable step can I take today to move towards my bigger vision? Small steps each and every single day, as opposed to lofty goals with no plan to reach them. So intentions can be used with your resolutions when you think about it. Your intentions are your small steps to reach your larger goal. So we want to make sure that you're asking yourself, what small achievable steps can I take today to move towards my bigger vision? This could be anything. You know, I will practice gratitude for gratitude for 3 things before bed, or I will walk 15 minutes during my lunch break. By starting small, you build momentum, you build confidence, and you're making it easier to tackle larger goals over time. And I say this all the time. My mother used to say, "How do you eat elephants?" You eat them one bite at a time. You move one step at a time. You move 1 second at a time. I even go down to nanoseconds at a time, picoseconds at a time. You take it step by step and stop trying to eat the whole elephant when you know it's easier to get out there and take it step by step so that you can have manageable goals to reach that larger goals. Connect with your values. Know your worth. Instead of chasing external pressures, connect your intentions to your core values. What do you want to do for you? What truly matters to you in your life? Is it kindness? Is it creativity, learning, wellness? Or is it making a difference in other people's lives? Find out what your values are. Identify your core values and then use them as guiding lights for your intentions. We posted something about finding your word. And you can start with your values by finding your word. Is your word love? Is your word intention? Is your word powerful? Is your word persistence? Find that word that can help ensure that your intentions are going to be aligned with what truly motivates you on your lupus journey. And I'm not just talking about getting over lupus flares, I'm talking about creating a life that helps you enjoy life beyond lupus. So that's what intentions are here for. So this helps ensure your intentions are aligned with what truly motivates you, leading to a more fulfilling and authentic life. Once you identify your guiding principles, craft intentions that reflect them. So start small, find your core values. And finally, you have to embrace action and reflection. Don't just dream. Let's go back. Don't just dream about your intentions. Don't just write them down and then forget them. No, you have to follow it up with concrete actions. If you're saying that you're going to write down 3 gratitude things every night, make sure that you are taking the action to find your book, find a piece of paper, write it down, and put it next to your bed. If you have to recite them or whatever have you, you have to put the action in order for your intentions to really come to reality. So write them down, share them with a trusted friend, or even create a visual reminder like the intention board that I just showed you. We're going to go to that in a minute. As you move through the day, take moments to reflect on your daily intentions. Look, you don't have to make goals for next month. You have to make goals for right now and your days coming. There's nothing wrong with taking it step by step, small little snack bites to get to your bigger goal for the month. So make sure you're writing them down and letting someone know so that you can be, accountable to somebody. And as you move through the day, take moments to reflect on your intentions and adjust your actions if needed. This ongoing dialogue between your aspirations and your reality helps you stay on track and keeps you motivated. Sometimes people ask me all the time, how do I stay motivated? Well, this is a way. Keep those intentions in front of you. Make sure that you write them down and make sure you make a concerted effort to make the action to make them come to fruition. So start small, connect your values, and embrace action and reflection. 3 ways of setting intentions. So we talked about an intentions board, or some people call it a vision board. Whatever you want to call it, get you something like this that can help you understand what you're doing day to day. And you can change it to what you would like it to be. This is something how I look at my life as far as wealth go. We have to have money in order to live. You have a health goal, you have a love goal, family, career, relationship, knowledge, and then you have some notes that you can put on there. Now you can just write that into the intention board, or You can make it like a vision board with photos and things of that nature to make it appealing to you. But you can have a little book that has this little board in it every single day to have intentions every day, or you can do it monthly, whichever feels most comfortable for you. The most important thing is for you to do things that are comfortable for you, that help you develop coping skills to deal with things that lupus can bring on and to deal with life itself. You know, a lot of times we talk about a lot of things that's happening with lupus, but in life itself, we have to learn these coping skills. We have to learn how to cope with people who are rude to us. So write down those intentions on your board and allow yourself to look back at them. Allow yourself 5 minutes in your day just to write on your intention board or on your intention journal. And just make it something that you do every single day so that you can become habitual in it and that you can stop and realize, okay, I was supposed to do the laundry today, but I did not do that. So I need to put that on my list tomorrow. I don't need to guilt myself about it. I don't need to talk about how, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. It didn't get done. That's okay. Let's move it to tomorrow on the next intention page. So there are some intentions that you can really set immediately if you really wanted to. One, nourishing movement. You can do something like, today I choose movement that fuels my body and spirit, not one that drains it. So you know what drains your body. You know if you're overdoing it. Maybe you can set an intention every single day to do something that helps your body as opposed to draining your body. Another intention that you can do immediately, mindful moments. Today, I'll weave pockets of peace throughout my day. That could be a deep breath. That can be just a guided meditation. That could just be stopping and closing your eyes and just being in the moment and realizing that this moment is the most important moment in your day. So, number 2 is mindful moments. Another intention that you can try just immediately, just to write it down on your paper and just make sure that you're making concerted action to try and do it, is creative connection. Today, I'll let my soul speak. I don't know if you write poetry. I don't know if you like to color. Whatever it is that you feel is kind of creative for you, maybe you sew, maybe you crochet, whatever it is for you, do that. And make sure that you make an intention to do that every single day. Some of these things take 3 or 4 minutes. Nothing more, nothing less. You don't have to make it grand. It can be as simple as doing some of these things for 3 or 4 minutes. Compassionate choices is number 4. Today, I'll listen to my body's whispers. And I always say we need to listen to our body's whispers before they scream at us. So make that an intention in your day. Listening to your body's whispers, nourishing it with healthy meals, prioritizing rest. Let me say that again. Prioritizing rest. Let me say it one more time. Prioritizing rest, not just sleeping, but resting your mind, your body, your spirit. Sleeping is good, but you also have to find those other areas to rest so that you can get to this intention and make sure that you are healthy beyond lupus. And number 5, gratitude glimmers. We talked about glimmers before and how we look at what the beauty is in our day as opposed to what's going wrong. So today I'll find beauty in the mundane. I'll savor the warmth of peaks of sunlight, the taste of a delicious apple, the laughter of a loved one. You know, tapping into those glimmers. Not saying that you have to stop and be like, oh, I'm grateful for it all no matter what happens. I just have to be grateful. No, no, no. That's not what I'm saying. But it's good to stop and just really, really tap into those glimmers that happen in your day. I see Sheridan says, I rest, hardly sleep. And you know what, Sheridan? I think that's a lot of lupus thrivers that have that issue, especially if you're on prednisone, if you're on some medications that create that whole insomnia. And what I say to this sometimes is that find you a routine at night, whether it's writing in a journal, taking a hot bath, and lighting a candle. Find you a way to wind your mind down. A lot of times we are overstimulated, and that's what makes us have this insomnia. So if we're following a routine, we can then condition our brain to tell our body to sleep. And I know that sounds simple. It's not that simple, and it does not happen overnight, but it can be your intention to say to yourself, oh, you know what? I'm having trouble sleeping. Let me first, of course, speak to your doctor and ask him what kind of things that you can do to sleep better. But how about if I try to really stop, take everything out of my head? One thing that I love to do at night is to do brain dumps. And I just saw Sheridan also stated that her thoughts are constantly racing, and she thinks it might be anxiety. It might be. If you make an intention to remove all of that from your head and from your spirit, whether it be saying it out loud or writing it on a piece of paper, crumbling it up and throwing it in the garbage, there is such power in an act that seems so simple, but it can help you. And once you start to create an intention in your night and in your day to just stop and release all of the day from your body and from your mind, whether it be on paper or verbally, then I think that you might be able to find little periods of sleep. Like I said, it's not a cure. It's not gonna just automatically happen. It's definitely something that you have to continue to work at. And that's why intentions are important. So, we try these little intentions to help ourselves deal with what's going on in our body. And once we start to figure out how our body works and how we can be better, then we can set intentions that help us throughout the day. I hope that helps, Sheridan. Let's see. So there are 3 ways that you can create intentions. One of them is setting healthy boundaries. That gives you a sense of empowerment. And living with intention starts with knowing yourself and honoring your needs. Honoring your needs. This means setting clear boundaries, saying no. Oh, excuse me. You do not have to say yes to everything. You don't. I know you're trying to please your mom, you're trying to help your kids, but some things you just have to say no to. And that's setting a boundary. You have to set a boundary with yourself, you have to set a boundary with others, and you have to prioritize activities that energize and fulfill you as opposed to draining you, like we were talking about before. So, number one way to create intentions is to set those boundaries. Once you set those boundaries, then you can set your day up as you need to. Number 2, do what you want to do. Make conscious choices. A lot of times we're living with lupus and we're dealing with a lot of things that go on in our bodies, but we're also somebody's mom. We're also somebody's auntie. We're also somebody's husband, or we're also somebody's father. And we have responsibilities. And you have to take care of those responsibilities, but you also have to make conscious choices because every action, big or small, shapes your journey. So make mindful choices based on your desired values and aspirations and what you want to do for you. If something doesn't align with your vision, if it doesn't align with your intentions, you know what? You don't have to do it. You can prioritize your experiences and nourish your spirit and empower your own growth. So make sure that you are making conscious choices. Don't deny things that you obviously have to do, but make conscious choices and pick your battles. It's just like with your kids. You pick your battles with your kids. You're not going to keep arguing with that child because they're a child. We're not going to keep arguing back and forth. Pick your experiences and Make conscious choices as to what you want to do for you. Number 3, commit to consistency. Small steps make big leaps. And when I say consistency, forget the all or nothing approach. Embrace the power of small and steady. I'm going to read that again. Forget the all or nothing approach. Embrace the power of small and steady. As you are doing small and steady things, you are creating a habit of consistency within you. And that helps you. That consistent micro actions compound over time, and it builds momentum and transformations in your life. And it's done one step at a time. So although you might feel that doing it so slow might make you feel like, oh, I just can't do it. And, it's just so horrible that I can't do this. No, every little step counts. Even when we do our walks and everything like that, every little step counts. So make sure you're taking those small steps to make those big leaps, because those small steps are going to create a consistency in you and going to create a habit that you cannot let go. It sounds simple, and a lot of people will probably say, oh, that's easier said than done. No, we know what I say. It's easier done when said, and concerted actions are put into it. Now, I don't want to feel like I'm sitting here preaching to y'all, but the reality is you have to consistently do things on your lupus journey in order to feel better. I can't say it any simpler than that. You have to be consistent in moving your body. You have to be consistent in eating foods that are healthy for you. You have to be consistent in taking care of your mental health. Now, look, I'm not telling you to go out there and work out like a true champion. No, I'm saying walk 10 minutes a day. Walk 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, in place in your house consistently. I'm not saying you have to throw out all the food that you love. No, I'm saying add some healthy foods in there. And when you add the healthy foods, take out one of the ones that don't really belong in there too much, all the sugar and stuff like that. I'm not saying that you have to go to therapy. Therapy works, don't get me wrong. But if you can talk to a friend, then do that. Little micro actions that really help you set goals in your life and get your life in a better place beyond lupus. Sheridan says, I like that. Have been trying to do that, doing things a little at a time. So important. Thank you, Sheridan. I appreciate all of your information and you communicating with me. I really do. It really is that simple, doing it every little bit at a time, one step at a time, 1 nanosecond at a time, 1 picosecond at a time. Create your intentions 2 or 3 at a time if you have to. You don't have to have 20 intentions for your day. You can have 3 intentions, and you can say, okay, I need to get up and wash. That's my intent. I intend to get up and wash and brush my teeth and get some air. That's an intention. One little step at a time. That's how we can live intentionally beyond lupus. So focusing on abundance in spite of lupus. When you set an intention, you approach goals with a greater sense of self-compassion. And it's important for us to have that sense of self-compassion as we deal with lupus, because we deal with so much with lupus. Literally, I'm telling you, this whole mouth issue has been going on for me for about 6 months. We're always dealing with something with lupus. So we have to find ways to really set intentions that help us to instill some self-compassion and some grace for ourselves. As a result, you'll feel less obligated to force change and more motivated to act to elicit betterment. And let me say that in a different way. You'll feel less obligated to change something that you feel is wrong, and more inspired to really stop and do something that's better for you. Now, what's better for you might not be better for me. So you have to find those things that are good for your body and things that help you to live well beyond lupus. So an intention is something to live by throughout the year and beyond. It's not something that you set and then you actually get the goal. No, it's something that you're going to be doing all the time. It becomes a coping skill. It becomes something that you do habitually to make yourself better beyond lupus. Setting an intention allows you to live more mindfully and open. And we are always talking about being mindful of what we're doing. We're always talking about being very open to allowing our life to be changed by mindfulness. So it helps you to be mindful and open. Ditch the push until you break mentality. Someone always says, oh, no pain, no gain. No, that's not true for lupus. Actually, the pain is a horrible gain. We don't want that. We don't want to push ourselves to the limit, and we don't want to go over our limitations. We want to honor our limitations and honor our body and allow ourselves to be open to stop and rest in any way that we can, whether it's to stop and rest when you're walking or to stop and rest and take a nap. We want to make sure that we are not pushing ourselves until we break and until a flare comes on, and then that flare is everlasting. It's too much on our bodies. And if it's something that you can prevent from happening, let's do that. Sustainable growth comes from consistent, mindful effort, not from overexertion. So I know when I feel good, I tend to try and overdo it. Excuse me. I tend to try and overdo it. And I have learned to really honor my body and stop doing that and understand that I just have to stop. And I don't have to feel bad because I have to take a break. So it's not about overexertion. It's about honoring your limits and understanding how important it is to look at your intention and say, okay, I've reached part of this intention, and now I'm going to put the rest of it off till tomorrow so I can rest. Intentional living beyond lupus thrives on innovation and adaptation. We already know that we're the most adaptable people in the world because lupus will take us out in a minute. So it's just really fine-tuning that adaptability and being open to exploring new pathways, learning new coping skills, and seeking support when needed. We often know ask for help. It's important for us to ask for help as well. Okay. And remember, a fulfilling life is built on mindful choices, not excessive hustle. And, everybody is in this whole hustle mode, oh, I have to, I'll sleep when I'm dead and whatever. If you don't sleep, you're going to die. So, get out of the hustle mode, get out of the mode of, oh, I have to be doing something. No, sometimes doing nothing is all the something you need to be doing. So get out of that hustle mode and make sure that you're setting intentions that are helpful for you. My intentions won't be the same as your intentions, but you can get an idea from what I might do to put in your own intention log or your intention board. So living intentionally in spite of lupus isn't about working yourself to a point of flares, like we just said. It's about crafting a life that feels productive and fulfilling beyond lupus. Because sometimes lupus robs us of that fulfilling moment. Some of us can't work. I haven't been able to work since I was 30 something years old, and I'm over 50. So lupus robs you of a lot of things that make you feel like it's not a fulfilling life. So setting intentions can give you a crafting table to help you feel more fulfilled in your life because of the things that lupus might have done to you. You might not feel that fulfillment, but the reality is it's there if you just stop and create the intention for it. It's about working smart, but also prioritizing joy, rest, and activities that light you up. Okay, think of it as building a sustainable system of growth and impact beyond lupus. So we want to grow beyond lupus. We want to make sure that we're doing things that are, you know, having our soul in a happy and joyous moment. So, where you celebrate the small wins, embrace change, and consistently think about yourself along the way. Where you celebrate the small wins, embrace change, and consistently think about yourself along the way. Intentions allow you to do that, to think about yourself and to think about what you need and what you want. And maybe some people don't want to hear that, but it's important for you to be well and you to take care of yourself first. So that if your choice is to take care of others, you are filled to capacity to be able to do so, as opposed to being depleted and throwing yourself into a flare because you're trying to, do everything for everybody with nothing in your cup. Okay. So remember, the ultimate goal is to feel energized and empowered, not just efficient. So let's embrace the possibilities of a healthier and more intentional lupus journey by setting these intentions, daily intentions, so that you can reach the higher goal within your month or within your year. So that's what I have for you today. Intentions are very important to me. Um, I have learned throughout this lupus journey that it's important to really set the tone in my own life. And the only way I can set that tone is if I really set intention within every moment of my day. And like I said, that's not to say that you have to have all these goals that you have to do throughout the day. Your intentions can be as simple as, I need to get up today. I need to go to the store. I need to take my child to school. Little things like that help you to really grasp it in your mind how you can make these little micro intentions, create micro actions to get to the bigger goal. So I hope that that has helped someone along the way. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat. If I don't see them now, I will definitely look at them a little bit later and answer them. This presentation will actually be on Facebook, and I'll try and put it on Instagram. Instagram is kind of funny. And it will definitely be on our website so that you can refer back to it and maybe copy that intention board and take it with you and use it throughout your day. Anne, you are so welcome. I'm so happy that it was helpful for you. Reach out if you need help setting your own intentions. And if you need help with that, I'm definitely available to meet with a couple of you all and talk about how to set your intentions throughout the day. Catherine, thank you so much. This is just what I need to get on track. Awesome. Thank you, Catherine, for tuning in. Thank you, Ann, Sheridan, everybody who's tuned in. Thank you so much for coming on and listening to my little rants a little bit, but it's all right. It's all meant to help you and to get you to a point where you can cope a little better with lupus. And it's not to say that you're not coping well now, but we all could use new coping skills and really help each other if we really need to. Thank you. This was great. Thank you, Sheridan. I appreciate you being here. Leela, Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you and Happy New Year. I sure hope that everything was easy for you to understand. If you have any questions or if you want to meet and learn how to write your own intentions, just let me know. Just let me know. But I appreciate you all tuning in. Happy New Year. Set an intention for your evening tonight to stop and remove it all from your brain. Do a brain dump. Whatever's bothering you, get a piece of paper. Write it on a piece of paper. If you have to burn it, burn it. If you don't want to burn it, ball it up and toss it in the garbage. And then I want you to get you a nice glass of tea and relax and then lay down to go to rest. I'm telling you, if you do a brain dump every night, you will be amazed at how you feel when you lay your head down to rest. It's the simple things and the small things that can lead to bigger and better things for you on your lupus journey. So thank you for always tuning in. Um, Continue to send out some, good vibes to Amber to have her feel better. And I hope that we will see you again at another event. So thank you, everybody, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.